love to, thanks.
No time to dally.
How many die today? How many die tomorrow?
I will not be slandered! General, you saw my reports. You know it's not my fault.
The facts suggest otherwise. You were ordered to retrieve the artifact. You failed to do so.
If I had been given drow warriors instead of goblin trash!
Oi! What?
You scrag!
Enough!
A blast of mental energy washes over you, filling the room. Your tadpole squirms, urging you to obey.
Let me make sure I understand this. You're claiming that General Thorm gave you the wrong soldiers?
Yes. No!
You blame the Absolute's Chosen for your failure?
Of course it is not the General's fault.
Whose then?
Zarel's mind is a steel trap, but you cautiously ease your way in. You just need to shift her focus a little.
I'm being unkind. Anyone might have struggled with such imperfect tools. Goblins are prone to failure.
Yes. It's the goblins' fault. They failed you, General. Not me.
General?
Take Minthara below. Someone will have to consider her fate.
No! Please! Mercy! Please!
Bye-bye, princess.
And the goblins, General?
You, true soul. You have seen what these creatures are capable of, and you have seen their inadequacies, isn't that so? What is your judgment?
You! Me old mate that saved me from the tieflings!
Enough! True soul, tell the General how the goblins served our cause.
Oh, and the fun we had committing them.
I'm sure they were very enthusiastic. But zeal without efficacy is for children, not servants. We are too close to the ending, and the new beginning. I can coddle failure no longer. Kill them, quickly.
What? No! You creaking old bag of shit!
I'm so sorry, my lord. She's an unbeliever outside my control.
Try again.
No! No!
Dispose of the rest as you see fit. Or better yet, Let us take advantage of our surprising guest and their particular creative genius. I'm sure the results will send a clear message to the troops on the importance of discipline.
Of course, my lord. Thank you. You heard the General. The goblins are yours. Deal with them however you wish. They are yours. You can release them, kill them, or feed them to each other for all I care. Just deal with them. Here, in the seat of the Absolute's power, your authority over them is complete. They will obey any command. Report to me upstairs when you're done.
You wouldn't hurt me, would ya? We're mates, me and you. Practically family.
Please!
Well, that's done with. Might as well go say hello to Zarel then.
In another lifetime, you were greeted in this throne room like a god, not the living wreck you are now. Your disgrace has something to do with this Ketheric. You yearn to flay him until he forgets himself, as you have. He healed up a treat. He could enjoy your cuts forever and a day.
The seat of the Absolute's power, occupied by a general that cannot be killed. But his followers are flesh and blood. We must learn more about his power.
General Thorm's prayers and preparations must not be disturbed. The rooftop is off limits to everyone.
Even you, Disciples Rel?
Everyone. Keep watch and ensure that nobody passes. Excellent timing, true soul. The goblins. Tell me how they suffered. No, better yet, show me.
Her mind enters yours abruptly, flickering across your memories in a blaze of excitement. A pool of warmth spreads through your mind as she settles on the memory of you commanding the goblins to die.
Oh, I like you. That was inventive and efficient. Plenty. But I hoped someone of your talents would be more ambitious. You came here to answer the Absolute's call. Let's see what you're made of.
She parts the folds of your mind again, touching your wants and hopes, tasting them. Every emotion soaks into her mind's palette. But there is purpose to her exploration. She is searching for proof of your faith.
My. Your lust for the neck pricker is succulent. I'd like to take a bite out of him myself. With the Absolute, your fantasies can become more real than flesh. The pleasures of the mind can surpass those of the body. I have already been blessed to stand in her presence. It was bliss. She gave me everything I wanted. Why not? What's the point in power if you don't get to have a little fun every now and again? She gave me the power to cut the thread of life with a thought. But I can caress as well as cut. That's why you should stay on my good side. And the best way to do that is to serve General Thorm. I have a mission for you.
That's it. Play along. The closer you can get to the General, the closer you'll be to the answers you seek.
You feel her presence in your head again. She grips your mind, squeezing until your vision blurs with pain.
The Absolute's blessings have far greater value than any price you could name. Be wise. Obey. There is a relic that General Thorm requires. He sent his most trusted advisor, disciple Balthazar, to retrieve it. The relic is beneath the Thorm family mausoleum. That is where you will find Balthazar. But we have lost contact with him. Go there, aid Balthazar if you can, and bring the relic home. Death would not silence Balthazar for long. But dead or alive, he is lost. Whatever has become of him, it is the relic that matters. It is something that General Thorm desires, and that he has ordered us to retrieve. That is all you need to know.
She's suddenly nervous, on edge. Talking about the relic makes her anxious.
I am in awe of the power the relic must hold to be of such importance. General Thorm will not leave Moonrise without it. And I accompanied him. It was destroyed shortly after he left Moonrise. Hardly a surprise. We're protected here, but outside the shadows are hungry. Fine. Talk to the Bugbear Quartermaster. Tell him he's to share my secret stash with you. The shadows around the mausoleum are deep and hungry. You'll need a moon lantern to survive them. Take one from Balthazar's chambers. But don't pry. The last person who snooped into his secrets lost their head. I believe he uses it as a chamber pot.
God, you're beautiful.
Shah's blessings upon you. He's trouble. Worse, he's a traitor. Whatever loyalty he had towards Lady Shah is long gone. It would please her greatly to see him meet his long overdue end, I'll wager.
Hey, soldier.
Emperor's still locked up somewhere in there. We could save her. Or not.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
I'd be delighted. Though, someone else will need to watch the cookpot, of course. Magical. So, shall we? Charmed, I'm sure.
Never a dull moment.
The disc is formed from slate and engraved with Githyanki writing. It closely resembles the disc that Lae'zel deciphered. This time, the symbols easily resolve into coherent words and sentences. The story of Orpheus further unfolds. The Prince of the Comet, Part 3. The histories tell us that Commander Voss, Gestil Kithrak, pierced Prince Orpheus clean through with his sword of silver, that his flesh was torn and fed to the great red dragon, Ephelaman. Vlaakith's faithful roar out this tale. But beneath the roars we hear whispers carrying truth and prophecy. The Prince of the Comet is not dead. The Prince of the Comet will come again. The Prince of the Comet will liberate us from Vlaakith's tyranny. Praise be to Mother Gith, Queen of the One Sky. Praise be to your son, Orpheus, the true heir, Prince of the Comet. The chapter ends there. This disc might be of some interest to Lae'zel.
Looks like the other. Another story about the Githyanki prince. I'll take that. What's inside?
That might be worth a look.
Trust no one. Easy.
Let's get going. This night song sounds like the source of Ketheric's immortality.
Curious name. It sounds more like a bird than a font of power.
Maybe we can turn it against Ketheric.
The necromancer was experimenting on the tadpoles. But they were already imbued with Netherese magic. So where did that magic come from?
A goblet filled with the mutilated corpses of illithid parasites. Whatever ungodly experiments were performed on them likely killed them. Carved into the bench's rotted surface are strange, half-faded sigils. A magic circle of some kind, thick with darkness and decay.
A ritual circle. And a complex one at that. I've seen such a construction before in the writings of the Weave Pasha Raven, though his vision was not so tainted. The sigils are written in a curious mix of tongues. Ancient Kalashite, Netherese, something else I can't quite make out. If I'm reading it correctly, it was used in the creation of moon lanterns. It's been mostly drained, but even now contains a powerful dose of shadow weave. The discarded pixie corpses might still contain enough essence. And with one of the broken lantern casements... Yes, I think I'll be able to craft one more lantern. And with a slight modification of the casting gesture, it might be able to wield the shadows instead of repelling them. Though, Mistra's eyes may be upon me. She'd forbid me dabbling with such magic. She'd want it destroyed. Wasted, arguably.
The circle's power remains, to be used or destroyed.
What to do?
If Mistra were here, I don't think she'd be best pleased with me for doing that. She was always rather fond of pixies. Still, I'm sensing no signs of any divine retribution incoming. Not quite sure what to make of that. True enough. She'd certainly not want to jeopardize the completion of this little mission she and Elminster have concocted. It may not be the most savory kind of magic, but it will taste sweet enough if it brings us to the heart of the Absolute in one piece. That's good to know. Although I should say, I do what I do out of a sense of utility and pragmatism, not a love of the unsavory. Whatever advantage I can gain for us, I will. And I refuse to feel guilty for it, no matter how much Mistress chidings might echo in my skull. Now come, best keep moving. We have many more shadows to face before we reach the heart of the Absolute.
Welcome back, true soul. Come back anytime.
even those we once called monsters.
He will cleanse you.
Minthara Bainray.
You were adored, Minthara. Brought up from the darkness and into the Absolute's light.
She cherished you, but it wasn't enough. You were distracted by your own desires.
Bloodlust, murder, chaos.
And most damning of all, an inability to follow orders.
I obeyed to the best of my ability!
And isn't that depressing?
You are nothing.
Minthara's mind connects with yours. Not strong as you remember, but fractured, disintegrating.
Come to observe, true soul. She is a lesson. None can rise so high that they cannot fall again. We are erasing her. No, this is our duty.
Peace, sister. Let us observe the true soul's methods. Perhaps we can learn from them. Her mind is yours. Break it.
Immediately, your mind is swept into a greater vortex. A psionic storm with Minthara at its center.
I submit. Embrace.
Her torturers are not dominating her. They are destroying her mental defenses and exposing her to something else. The Absolute. Navigating the storm, you reach the nexus of her mind. It is a wound, bleeding raw emotion and shattered memories. But she senses your arrival.
So it is you who will end me. Make it swift, then. Anything to silence that thing. That voice. But first, let's make these bastards bleed.
Her mind fills with warmth, and she gently releases you.
Impossible. She was broken.
You dare scar my mind. expected to be greeted as a hero. But the wretches imprisoned me and tried to tear my mind apart. I didn't think anyone would come for me. Erasing my thoughts and my will. Even I could not have endured for much longer. Agreed. Make haste. I fear that insidious voice will return if I linger here.
What's on your mind?
How can I help? Alas, no. The charm Elminster granted me requires my death as the spark that will light the orb's fuse. Making myself invulnerable, immortal, or in any other fashion unkillable would render it useless. And gods only know what it might do to the orb itself. Still, I see no harm in learning what we can about this night song. And if we manage to find it, the harm will be all Ketheric's. So, well worth indulging our curiosity.
Gods, you're beautiful.
May the darkness protect you.
Greetings.
In my years as the Blade, I've witnessed countless cruelties, faced unimaginable evil. But Thorm, he is made of pure hate. The Sword Coast will rejoice when the bastard's fallen. My father is somewhere in this tower. I won't leave him in Thorm's hands. And lest we forget, we've a devil to rescue. 2 missions, 1 destination. Not in a mere prison cell, certainly. My guess, Thorm will have confined him in the bowels of the tower. The deeper we dig, the closer we get.
Thy wheel of fate turns ever to the dark. Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhaps a resurrection instead?
conversation has been cut short. These prisoners are for Disciple Balthazar's attention only. Your reasoning is hard to argue with. You're free to speak to the prisoners.
You want to help? The gnomes with the cells down are up to something, and we're in.
I can't read bloody minds. Go on, before someone sees.
Have you slept at all?
Have you?
Fair point.
You ordered that guard about as if you were the Absolute herself. What do you want with us, exactly? Were I to get such help, I'd be appreciative. But why would a true soul be offering? Barkus is out here? Didn't think he had the stones. Well, if he sent you, you're no slave to the Absolute. You're a damn wolf among sheep, aren't you? I reckon you and I were meant to meet. I'm Wilburn. We've got a plan, for us and the Tieflings both. But we're scuppered without the right equipment. We need tools. That head case of a warden robbed ours, but anything that breaks rock will do. Even if it's not Iron Hand quality. Whatever you find, throw it through the bars. But for the love of Gerdel, make sure a guard doesn't see you, or we're both done for. Stone. I feel it. Hollow.
For a little dip. Quietly.
Does this count as adventuring?
Let's have some fun.
Keeping my head down.
been caught breaking the rules. You have a horrible feeling the next thing broken might be your skull. You're free to go. This time. But next time you won't be so lucky. You're being arrested for thieving. Unless you can find a way to...
Maybe I need more pockets.
Watch your back. Hardly a challenge.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Roland better.
Your feet fly fast, my friend. Any luck with those tools? Blessed Gerdul, I thought I'd never see it again. Thank you. The plan is to wait for a quiet moment, then bust out the back wall. We'll grab the tieflings along the way. We'll need them if it comes to a fight. You, however, are the clincher. Once we move, keep the patrols busy. If the bastards spot us, all of bloody Moonrise will come down on us. Hurry, or we're all dead.
How delicious. Enough sitting around. Let's go hurt someone.
All is ash and meat.
Being arrested for assault.
Make it hurt.
I got this. Knees high. Got it.
It's only a matter of time till we're served up to the necromancer on a platter.
Fair point.
We'll get you to Baldur's Gate, sir.
Damn straight. Without me, everything...
Arrested for assault, judging by
Let's march. Easy.
catch my breath.
Bye forever, pal.
Come on, let's go!
I've got a long road ahead.
We must leave. Now. Lead the way.
I'd bet my... Good work. We're gonna wait until it's quiet, and then bust out the back wall. We'll grab the tieflings along the way. We'll need them if it comes to a fight. You, however, are the clincher. Once we move, keep the patrols busy. If the bastards spot us, all of bloody Moonrise will come down on us. We'll move once it's quiet. Until then, be ready.
What's that?
Boat's good to go. All that's left is to ship off. My plan for now is to hide out on the water. Unless you have a better idea. Something survived in this hellscape. You should have led with that. See you there.
That might be worth a look.
A better position.
All right, Karlak. It's go time. Soldier.
What now? Best be on my way.
Unleash me. The darkness is my home.
What the hells is this place?
Soldier.
An illithid oubliette. Right beneath the towers. A colony must be close. That must be where the tadpoles are coming from.
Speak quickly.
In your name.
Wretched thing. Pull yourself together. Look, there's something on the other side. No way through from here, though.
Is there something you want to talk about, my dear?
Oh, the stink of that place might never wash out.
What is it? What's wrong?
Soldier?
Keep your distance, darling.
Attention!
Still in control. Just.
I last left Moonrise as a commander in the Absolute's army, obeying the voice of a god. I thought I had found a home and a purpose.
Now I leave as an exile. But you risked your life to rescue me. For that, I am grateful.
The artifact connects with her, pulling your minds together and showing her all that you have seen. The prison Your dream visitor. The protection that keeps you from obeying the Absolute and becoming a Lithid. She knows it all in a moment. Her mind reels, but is no longer clouded. She accepts the truth. She has no choice.
There is much we must discuss. Do you have a safe place to camp nearby? Goodbye for now. I will see you soon.
Gods, you're beautiful.
Copper for your thoughts?
What's on your mind?
Well met.
It does not compare with the comforts of home, but your camp is almost palatial in comparison to my previous accommodation. Thank you for allowing me to come here, and for bringing me back to myself. Each memory that returns to me is more disturbing than the last. The things that I did in the name of the Absolute. The things that were done to me. They broke my mind. Precisely. While our tadpoles live, and the cult have the means to control them, we will never be safe. We must eradicate them, starting with General Thorm. I mean Ketheric. My deference to him is a habit that will die hard, I fear. Not only this battle, but all that come after. Swear that you will keep me close. Until the Absolute is dead, at least. The Prism will protect me. You will fight alongside me and help me to get my vengeance. I knew you were different to other true souls when we met, but I could see nothing clearly. Now, thanks to the Prism, the Absolute does not cloud my thoughts at all. I see that together, we can have our vengeance on those who infected us. Rest well, and keep your wits about you. Tomorrow, we go to war with the cult of the Absolute. I would gladly join you in the fight. Leave one of your other allies here, and I shall. Admirable ambition. But you must make room for me first. You wish to consult me? I was the Absolute's dagger. I remember every throat that it held me to, and every drop of blood it forced me to spill. I take no responsibility for the lives I took. I did nothing in the Absolute's name. I was merely a weapon that it wielded. You have my sympathy. The tadpole, the Absolute. They work together like a drug. I did not feel I was compelled to act against my will. I felt ecstatic to serve. Every action seemed a deliberate choice. The best choice. Even though I could no more have resisted its commands than flesh can resist decay. Even rational minds like ours cannot reject such a powerful influence. The Absolute can make the impossible seem inevitable. I fought at his side once, shortly after my conversion. Before the battle, he was everything a general should be. A charismatic leader with a brilliant strategic mind. And when the fighting began, he led his troops from the front and cut through the enemy like a scythe through stalks. Blows and arrows rained down on him, and before long, his face was a mask of blood. But he did not fall. He did not even falter. When we won the day, Ketheric's armor was bent and shattered, but his flesh was unmarked. I have lived long enough to know that few things are impossible in this world. Ketheric's power is a rare thing, though. I have never seen its like. There is a connection to this night song of Balthazar's, whatever or whoever it might be. We must find it and destroy it. I took up my oath long ago, when I swore bloody vengeance against any who defied Lolth. Now, I myself have sinned against the Spider Queen. Though my faith is shattered, my oath endures. I am sworn to destroy all those who serve the Absolute. It is not noble, it is necessary. If we do not destroy the cultists, they will destroy everything. We are all that stands between this world and annihilation. A disparate collection of vagabonds and strays. Did you have anyone particular in mind? She is tolerable, but her faith in the Lady of Loss is poisonous. The gods are the source of our woes. Though I concede that Shah is far from the worst of them. The Night Singer has some admirable qualities. Far more than her insipid sister. But her followers are repressed. Take the child Shadowheart. She does not even know who she is, but still manages to pity herself. The very concept of Sharan worship is self-indulgent. They would have you think every whispered word and hidden thought is of value, but it is not so. I have performed 1,000 interrogations, squeezing out the most guarded secrets held in heart, mind, and soul. I can tell you this. When the trivial parts have been whittled away and I have sifted through what remains, in most cases, a person amounts to nothing at all. He's been deprived of freedom and strong blood for so long that he is addicted to both. While those addictions have their hold on him, he is still a slave. And while you live, you'll be enslaved to your appetites and hungers. We all feed on something, and if we are deprived of it, we will fight for it. But Astarion is not only bound to his needs and desires. He is still bound to something more powerful. His master. He will only be free when Cazador is dead. And that is as it should be. When the time comes, we must hope that he does not only take Cazador's long life, but the power that has sustained him as well. I have encountered few Githyanki in my life. Those that I did were raiders. They croaked out pleas for mercy in their alien tongue as they died. Meeting Lae'zel makes me wish I knew more of their culture. To one who only sees the surface of things, perhaps. You should look deeper. There is a fanaticism in the Lothsworn that lends itself to chaos. They turn their blades on one another as readily as on outsiders. The Gith have stricter hierarchies and stronger commitment to a single cause. Some, like Lae'zel, question that cause. But even so, she retains the discipline of her training. The wizard? No. It is pointless. In my experience, the moment they leave their libraries, wizards have the life expectancy of a gnome in a war. Either the enemy recognizes they are a threat and kills them swiftly, or their curiosity leads them to combust while experimenting with the limits of magic. Our wizard is already in a state of suspended combustion, thanks to that orb between his ribs. I suspect it is only a matter of time before he goes up in smoke. I will reserve my social graces for those who might live long enough to appreciate them. He is exceedingly self-righteous. Amusing, considering he bound himself to a devil. I will take your word for it. I only care that he is a good soldier, and he has not disappointed me on that front. I would rather be allied with a warlock than the spoiled son of a noble who has more experience with diplomats than devils. I have never known anyone so ferocious and unassailable in battle, and yet so fragile and impermanent in their very being. I often think of mortality as a curse. In time, all that I am and all that I have known and learned will be lost. In time, our cities will be dust. Karlach does not seem to have such anxieties. Perhaps because she cannot afford to. She exists in the moment, and she will burn out and be gone in a moment. There is something very beautiful about that. Then speak. Very well.
Thy wheel of fate turns ever to the dark. Dost thou require a new...
Minthara's something of a closed book, but I suspect a heart of gold lurks beneath that stern countenance. Once she gets to know me, I'm sure she'll open up. She's just waiting for someone ready to listen.
Hey, soldier.
Well met.
The drow is unpredictable, uncompromising. I respect her almost as much as I distrust her.
It doesn't seem long ago that Minthara would have sought to kill us, and now we've welcomed her along. We're nothing if not magnanimous. I'd join you, but things are looking a tad crowded. You'll need to make room for me. Wonderful. I was beginning to feel a little left out.
I want to be clear. Letting Minthara tag along with us was your idea, so if you wake up with a dagger to your throat, that's on you. Excuse me. I'm sorry for looking out for our collective hides. But fine. Take her if you wish. Just know I'll be resting with one eye open.
Gods, you're beautiful.
As long as we can put up a fight, we're not.
There's more where that came from.
Chihiro wants to know about supplies. Will we make it home?
Burning through our oil, but it should just about do.
Just about?
Just about. Didn't hang around too long.
Nowhere's safe from this damned absolute. If you need something sharp, I have a few things left. I'll be here if you need anything else.
I sold a pair of boots to that traitor. Can't believe it. Take care now.
You Graven Guard's still alive, you reckon? He better be, or I'm a dead man walking. Aren't we all? Not as long as we can put up a fight, we're not.
Ah, there you are. Everyone seems to be quite a flutter. Do you know why? You did? But that means... Wolverine! Wolverine! Where is he?
Wolfbrin!
I heard you might be about. How the devil did you get stuck here, Barkus?
I'm not stuck. I came to find you, of course.
Why would you do a foolish thing like that? Really, Barkus?
Unfortunately for me, you're my friend. Rescuing you from mortal peril is my right.
But you didn't rescue me, did you? I rescued myself, with the aid of this helper.
Ah, it's you. I should have guessed. Thank you very much for your help finding Wolfbrin.
You don't belong here, Barkus. As soon as the way is clear, pack up and head to Baldur's Gate.
But... Wolfbrin... The rune powder... We need to discuss what you're going to...
I said go home!
Please, that isn't necessary.
Indeed. Neither of you has any clue what's at stake. And why should you? It's Iron Hand gnome business. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a great deal to do.
Well, there we have it. Wolfbrin is safe and sound. Thanks to you. I owe you a great deal. The brilliant retort, for starters. Here you are. As promised. I give you the brilliant retort. Now, I believe our business is well and truly concluded. One and the same. Well, once you're used to someone, you're used to them. Well, perhaps Wolfbrin is right. Perhaps I ought to return to Baldur's Gate. Oh, that's all right. I'm a patient fellow. I'm sure you'll clear a path for everyone soon enough.
Yes, we wait. If we're called, we join the fight against Keth.
Ketheric's lackeys found me already. Blast it all! You need to deal with him.
Yes? I'm sure you would. If you're done rifling through my things...
Not before.
We're still alive, Bran. That's worth a cheer at the very least.
The shadows haven't consumed you. Good. Gruesome, isn't it? I'm glad you survived the encounter, at least. Did you learn anything more? Chosen? That's 3 masters Ketheric has served. Our paladin isn't very picky. He's aligned himself with mind flayers. But I cannot see what he gains. Perhaps we can force it out of him once we have him up against a wall. Was there anything else? The great general is paranoid. Good. That means he's protecting something. I'll wager it's the source of his invulnerability. He'd protect that at any cost. Was there anything else?
And with the true soul, we will land the final blow.
Things in Moonrise were bad. Real bad. Thank you for getting me out of there. We need Mole. Please, get her back.
Did you enjoy relaxing here while I battled that wretched darkness? What were you thinking?
I'm sorry, we got captured by murderous lunatics!
I thought you were dead, you ass! Both of you!
We're all safe, Roland. That's what matters.
I was just overwhelmed. Doesn't matter.
I'm sorry. We should have been here.
No, it's not your fault. I shouldn't have shouted. I'm sorry.
Thank you for saving me. And the 2 idiots.
I've lashed out at you, drunkenly and otherwise, and you helped anyway. You didn't deserve that. I'm sorry. And thank you. You went out of your way to help us. It's only right you get something in return. Here. I hope it helps.
I've thanked you once already. Don't be greedy.
Cheer at the very least.
Have you ever known me to cheer?
There's always a first time.
We're bruised, battered, but we're together again. You damn well brought them back.
You're all right. My gods, you're all right.
Come here, darling.
I was so scared I'd lost you.
Me too. But we're here now. Safe. Credit where it's due. Bex, this is the one who helped me and the others escape.
This isn't the first time you've helped us. Saved our lives, really. Why? You make it sound so easy. But I know the lengths you've gone to on our behalf. We'll never forget it. Never, ever. Here. Take these for the road. It's the least I can do. So, shall we go for a walk?
Anywhere, my love. I go where you go.
Is there something you want to talk about, my dear?
I couldn't bear to be around others. They all seem to be coping so much better than I was.
It's so dark out there.
It must have been.